So here's the walk this morning, the Ormiston Gorge and Waterhole walk. Did I mention you might have to swim through the waterhole this morning?
No, you didn't.
Okay, we'll see how we go with that. So this is the waterhole. Beautiful, tranquil place this morning before the inflatable flamingos arrive. So we're not off to a good start. Looks like we've gone the wrong way. So we're just going to have to double back. But still, it's nice to see this place in the peace and tranquility of the early morning. Okay, this is the walk we should be doing, the Pound walk. Little footnote there, swimming through cold water required. I like to stand in front of that when Lisa comes past here. Okay? Yeah.
Oh, without doing it.
That's okay. It'll be warm by the time we get there. Oh, look at the wildflowers here. It's gorgeous. I think I've filmed these before, but these are really cute little flowers. This is so beautiful. The flowers are just like they're glowing in this morning sunlight. It's just stunning. Look up the hill, the fields of purples up the hill there. Gone from fields of white to fields of purple now. People are going to be sick of these flower photos by the time we put this video together. About 4 kilometres into the walk, and whoops,
Landslide.
started the rock slide. So the last kilometre has been just a steady uphill climb up to this little gap in the hills up here. Just enough to get the heart pumping. So this will be the Pound. So they call these type of areas pounds. In the early days when the stockmen were trying to contain the cattle, an area like this with natural boundaries all around it was a great place to keep them, so because they couldn't wander off. They were able to sort of keep them contained within a reasonable sort of area. Creek running through the middle of it. So plenty of water, good feed, nice high rocks all around. Pretty girl taking pictures. It's got everything. Just looking back the other way, you can just see the trail where it scratches its way along the rocks there. So the trail here, what are we, 4.7 into it? Just snaking our way down the other side of the pass, down into the base or the floor of the Pound. Great trail, well maintained. A few loose rocks every now and then, but all in all, beautiful trail. He says as he trips and stumbles. Almost down to the floor of the Pound. Just a little tip, if you're doing this, is that the best way to do it is start early in the morning, about 8:30, and do it anti-clockwise. So you do the Pound walk first and you end up coming into the gorge at the end. And that way you get the sun coming up through all those wildflowers. It's absolutely beautiful. And it's quite amazing as you look in one direction with the sun at the back of them. They just glow brilliant colours. And when you turn around and look the other way, so the sun's behind you, it's quite dull and drab. So definitely worth doing it. Early morning start, and do it anti-clockwise. And that way you'll get the benefit of the sun coming up and illuminating all those flowers, which was absolutely stunning. It was just beautiful. We're down on the floor of the pound, just crossing the creek bed. So it won't be long now before Lise has to strip off and swim across the creek, which he is.
I'll walk back.
Oh, Jesus. Oh.
You okay?
Yeah.
Were you filming and walking at the same time? Were you filming and walking at the same time?
Thank you for your concern.
I said, are you okay first?
Very quickly followed up by
Don't film and walk.
oh, all good. So we're on the final stretch, 2.3 kilometres to go back to the car park, and that 2.3 kilometres through the Ormiston Gorge proper. Now I'm not allowed to film and walk at the same time. It appears as though I don't have the coordination to carry out both of those simultaneously. Anyway, slow going with a dicky calf. No, what have I got? Hamstring, tweaked a hammy. Precarious. A couple of rocks perched up there. Very awkward angle. Doesn't look like there's much holding them in place. Wouldn't be the size of a Toyota Land Cruiser.
I don't want to do it.
You've got to wade across. It's not that deep. Looks like it's just
It goes up to you.
thigh deep.
My God.
It's kind of like genital deep.
I'm happy to walk back. I'm happy to do the 7.5 k's back.
Maybe you should stand on my shoulders. Anyway, need to watch very carefully where these guys are going. So, here we go.
And there's dead fish.
Can you see those rocks there? Yep.
Oh, my legs are nuts.
You're right, trying to hang on to. Well done. How much fun was that? Well, we survived the water crossing, only just. It was pretty chilly. So we just can't wait to get to the other side where the sun's shining and try and warm up our toes. But only about 1 kilometre to go now. On a section of the trail now called the Ghost Gum Walk. Takes us to a lookout on the cliff over there. It's nice to be back in the sunshine again. How are your toes going?
Freezing.
So there it is, Ormiston Gorge. Absolute cracker of a walk. Just spectacular. The whole, well, there's two parts to the walk. The Pound walk is the first bit, and then you come back down through the gorge, and then the final little bit, so there's 3 bits. Final little bit is the Ghost Gum Trail. but absolutely stunning. Just looking back over the campgrounds and the coffee shop. I reckon that would have to be one of the prettiest walks that we've done so far. It's a big call, whether it beats the...
I love the Olgas.
Oh yeah, the Olgas were stunning. And the other one was down at Lucky Bay, the walk to Hellfire Bay from Lucky Bay. That was pretty good, but yeah, this is...
in their own way.
This is just amazing. There you go, don't miss it. If you're out this way, Ormiston Gorge, absolute 100% must do. But I've got a tip for you. If you're coming in here to go looking for a campsite, it's a very tight campsite. As you can see. But I'll show you a tip. There's a much better place. We'll show you shortly. So we're on our way out of Ormiston Gorge, and as I mentioned not so long ago, the campground at the gorge is, well, shall we say, pretty ordinary.
Pretty ordinary.
You're literally camped on top of each other. There's 20 bays there in an area that should really only have about 10 bays in it, and you're camped on top of each other. It's worse than Coral Bay, I reckon. So here's the tip. Don't stay there. They do overflow you into the bus camping area and into the car park and things like that, but it's not fun. So the tip is, drive out of the national park area.
We are doing now.
Turn right, head down towards Glen Helen Gorge, and just as you go past the Glen Helen turnoff, which is on the left, you go across the Finke River, but just before you do that, you turn right into the camping area on the Finke River, and we'll show you a bit more when we get in there. So that's the turn off to Glen Helen Gorge. Just in front of us is the Finke River. You might see the water on the road, but just 70 metres short of the river is the turn off into the Finke River 2-mile camp area. Now it's a little rocky going in, but it's not that bad. It's only a very short bit of rocky stuff and a short bit of sandy stuff. So we're about, let's call it 800 metres off the road, and it's a little bit sandy, but it's not that bad. And if you push in, there you go. Had to be. Oh no, they're just having lunch. I thought they had some inflatable flamingos there. So here we go. So this is the riverbank once again, and we're just going to park just up in front of this tour bus. We found a spot that looked pretty good yesterday, and I reckon we'll snaffle that one.
Oh. What are the signs of this thing?
So you're going to want to get out there? Probably not. They'll get out. So, do you want to just, rightio, that'll do. Somewhere about here we'll be fine.
Or there.
Lisa will just get out and check out the best spot, and we'll set up for the night.
Okay, change of plans. We're moving from there to here. It's a bit cuter. Not in front of this truck.
So there you go. You can have this for a campsite for 20 bucks a night with cold showers and bonus of a flushing toilet, or you can have this for a campsite for absolutely nothing, free of charge. No cold shower though, but it looks like you can go for a swim. I reckon I know which one I prefer. So down here at the Finke River, It's looking gorgeous. I'm contemplating a dip, but it's actually not that cold. Not as cold as it was in the Glen Helen Gorge yesterday. That was freezing. So just let me look at these big fish swimming around here. Not sure what they are. Anyway, might just do it. It's not getting any warmer. I've got to take the opportunity, have a little swim. Well, we've had a lazy day here this morning on the banks of the Finke River, and it's just been beautiful. Just
Hasn't been that lazy.
well,
Stripped the bed,
one of the two of us was pretty lazy. We'll let you try and figure out who that was. But yeah, Lisa's given the van a bit of a sparkle up, which it desperately needed. It's had a fair bit of dust in it from the last 3 weeks or so. So it's looking beautiful now. And while she was doing that, I put some air back in the tyres because we're going to be on the highway 150k back to Alice. And then what else did I do?
You laid in your hammock.
Oh, that's right. Got the hammock out and laid in the hammock for an hour or so. Because I didn't want to disturb Lisa while she's doing such a great job at cleaning. So, but it was just beautiful laying under the big ghost gums, listening to the birds and a bit of music. But anyway, we're just going to have a wander up the creek here. I just threw the drone up and noticed that there's a lot of water up stream from where we're camped. So we're just going to have a wander up there, have a look at that. And then come back and hitch up and head to Alice. And we're going to have 3 or 4 days in town. Got a few jobs to do. Got some work to do to finish off our RSAs. Get a haircut. So yeah, I had 3 days in town. There's a little bit of windy weather coming up as well, so perfect time to be in the city hiding out. Looks like Lisa found some gold. But this has been a beautiful stay here on the Finke River, and if you're in the West MacDonnell Ranges, this is a great spot to base yourself because you're kind of in the middle of Ormiston Gorge and Redbank Gorge, and not far from Glen Helen Gorge as well. So this is a great spot. Okay, let's have a wander up the creek, see what we can see up here.
The time has come and this year will be great. You got a chance, life echoes through your fate. And all along the road the work gets done. You find yourself some emotions that you hide. Fear of losing your parents you deny. And all across your life the work gets done. Be on the lookout for the fortunate son. My life is great, so why do I run? Be on the lookout for the fortunate son. And our lives are great, so why do we run? So don't you look around, the work is done.